going nowhere.
Then there's no. I'm looking at you, Jim.
I'm gonna hear the name and I'm gonna get PTSD.
But the cream will rise to the top for you.
Well, funny enough, Mark, you did the editorial on the Mark for the guarantee. May 25th is also anniversary of another really important moment in recent Rangers history, and that's Marty St Louis overtime Game 4 winner against the Montreal Canadiens in the 2014 Eastern Conference Finals. It's actually been 7 years today.
Up from Markov. Very careful trying to play it a second time. Can't do it. Here's St. Louis moving in.
I know we were both at that game. And for me, it hits home because I actually also lost my mother on this very day 18 years ago to breast cancer. She was diagnosed with it back in early 1998, was given a year to live, and she ended up living for almost another 6 years, passed on this very day. So for me, that whole run with Marty St Louis was just completely relatable on every different level that I could think of. It was really an emotional ride for me. It was great to watch because I like I said, I could relate to him, and scoring that Mother's Day goal against Pittsburgh was just incredible. I know it was just a weird bounce, but you know what? It was him that pulled that team together, and he was the rallying cry for that team. And having gone through the same thing, you know what? If I was playing on a team and we were going through the same thing, you know what? I'd probably be in the same situation as him. And I probably would react the same way. And then being there that day and going to that game and just having him not only score the Mother's Day goal, but then score the OT winner on my mother's anniversary, it felt like my mother and his mother were just kind of like watching out for us in a way. It was incredible. It was surreal. It felt like, you know what, it might have been destiny. That was when I really thought that the Rangers really had a great chance to win the Cup that year. And if it would have been 20 years to the year that the Rangers, broke that drought, it would have been amazing. It would have been something else to have that happen during that time frame and have those two events happen on those 2 days. Because May's never an easy month for me, with everything, obviously. But Marty St Louis made that May a memorable May for me. When we talk about leaders, Marty St Louis was a leader. I mean, he wasn't the captain of that team. There was no captain because obviously our captain was traded for him, along with a couple of draft picks, a couple of first rounders. But Marty St Louis was really the rallying cry for that team. He was the leader. He was the guy. He was the guy that brought them into the trenches. We talked about that with Anders Lee. The guy that brings them into the trenches. Marty St Louis was the driving force for that 2014 team. He was one of the scorers on the team. I think he was third in scoring. I think behind. Was it third? Yeah, I think it was tied, or either he was third or tied for second.
Yeah, I think he might have been tied for second because McDonough was one, I believe. Actually, you know what? He was second.
McDonough had like 17 points in like 24 games, I think.
Yeah.
He was really good in that postseason. But Marty St Louis was one of the team's top scorers. He was the voice in the locker room. And, I mean, you've even seen that interview where he said, "I'm so fucking proud to be a New York Ranger." Like that, I still get chills thinking about that. Still get chills thinking about that. So, it's just incredible to see a class act like that come along and be a Ranger. And, he wasn't the same the season after, but it's kind of hard to follow up that type of high and be on that type of emotional roller coaster and come back next year at 38 years old then at that point and still be an effective player. But I mean, he still had, I think, 50 points next year. But I have nothing but thanks for Marty St Louis because he gave me one of my favorite playoff memories and one of my favorite playoff runs, even though they didn't win. That was just still such a great run, and it was fun. It really was fun, and that goal just happened to be on that date for me. And like I said, it hits home, and just enjoy every moment that you can with your parents. I know, Anthony, you're going through some stuff right now, so my heart goes out to you and your family, and I hope everything works out. But it's rough. It's not easy. So enjoy every moment you have with your parents. Every moment you can get, just cherish it. Because things are great, and having someone like that around in your life. And my mother's my driving force, so I can tell you that right now. But thank you, Marty. We love you. You're still missed by Ranger fans everywhere.
Man, I wish I could give you a hug right now. I would, but yeah, you always think the line from the Shawshank Redemption I used in my grandmother's eulogy, who was instrumental in raising. I had a great relationship with my maternal grandparents. Still a great relationship with my parents. And thankful I still got them both. So I understand what you mean by that. But the line was,
I have to remind myself that some birds aren't meant to be caged. Their feathers are just too bright. And when they fly away, the part of you that knows it was a sin to lock them up does rejoice. But still, the place you live in is that much more drab and empty that they're gone.
But that's where the good thing about this day is for you is that it's always going to be there. Just that's where it's always a good thing. Anthony, how do you even follow that?
Yeah, John, I give you a lot of credit because losing your mom, and especially at a younger age, you were what, like 18, just graduating high school, 17.
Yeah.
So I mean, that's tough. Me, I'm a grown adult and 36, and my mom obviously she's going through. Even like when she was first diagnosed, and like the thought of like living in this world without your mother was terrifying for me. So I give you all the credit in the world there, and I'm glad that you were able to have that parallel with St. Louis and the Rangers to bring you comfort and bring you some joy. And that's the great thing about sports. We all watch sports as a outlet from our lives, and just for excitement and joy. So getting that to happen for you is awesome. And well, I'm not on the same scale at all. I can relate. So last September, it was end of August into September, my mom was in the hospital she was getting like the last part of her treatment, which was like the stem cell treatments, which the doctors said were hopeful it was going to put her in remission. And so during that, a lot of that time, those 3 weeks she was in the hospital, end of August into September, was like the Islanders' run. And I remember that game 6 where Eberle scored the double overtime goal, and it just brought me so much happiness in a time where I'm sitting there thinking my mom's laying in a hospital bed, literally bringing her down, because that's what stem cell treatment does. It literally brings you down to nothing, and then you start to recover. So just thinking about what she was going through that day, it just made it. It just took my mind off of it and just gave me some moments of just pure elation, while also having the reality on the other side of the door as my mother's going through this treatment. So I get it. I absolutely get it. I can imagine how that felt for you. So I know your mom would be proud. You've done a lot of things, so there's no doubt in mind. I mean, I know I never met her, but I'm pretty sure she definitely would be proud of you at this moment. So you'll never have to worry about that. And listen, I hope maybe one day on May 25th you'll have another moment with the Rangers, and to really show you that she's looking down on you. But yeah,
hopefully soon, boys.
Yeah, sports in life could be a powerful thing, emotional wise, at certain times in your life, for sure.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. Actually, this kind of reminds me of a story that Billy Crystal told one time, that during the 2001 World Series, I think his mother was sick, and Derek Jeter hit the home run to win. I think it was Game 4 or Game 3. No, it was Game 4.
Yeah. Remember home run.
And he said to her, his mother, he goes, Mom, Derek Jeter had the game-winning home run today in the World Series. And as sick as she was, she just snapped and just went, "Well, it's good. He hasn't had a hit all series." It's great whenever sports can actually feel that attachment to you personally. It's better when it's personal, because then we're dealing with it. It's more when it's more personal. It's personal to us. Obviously, 9/11 is a great moment for the tributes. I mean, not what happened.
Yeah.
For all of us, but yeah, it's just always remember the 25th.
Yeah, I mean, I know what you were getting at there with the 9/11 reference and Mike Piazza home run, and just how that lifted New York. Like, even as a Yankee fan, like, you know me, I don't hate on the Mets, but when Mike Piazza hit that home run, I think every baseball fan across the nation just shot up, because
I was at that game.
Wow,
that is a game. I'm sorry to just interrupt on that, Phil. But that's a game, an experience I will talk about for the rest of my life. Between Shea Stadium being so quiet to hear a pin drop, between the ribbon that was on the World Trade Center that was in center field on the scoreboard, the Mets and Braves hated rivals shaking hands, but the Mike Piazza home run, of course, all the different tributes like Diana Ross singing "God Bless America" or Eliza Minnelli singing "New York, New York." But the thing I will always take from that is seeing America the Beautiful, and again, Shea Stadium completely quiet, and hearing my grandfather holding back his emotions, sort of like the way you are right now, singing along to it, and a proud veteran who fought for this country in World War II, and that's why I will never, ever do anything but respect the national anthem and the flag. So, because I know he'd be disappointed in me. John, take us out of here.
Like you were saying, it's just sports. I mean, the point of it was just sports and our personal lives intertwining the way that they do, and the parallels you can sometimes draw to them. Like Anthony, sports are a distraction. This is what we want sports to be. We want them to be our distraction. We want them to be our way to just step away from life for a second. Like, whether, what's going on, whether it was my situation, whether it's Anthony's, whether it was the 9/11, tragedy and how Piazza hit that home run. It's just enjoy sports, because sports are a distraction. They're a source of elation. They're an outlet. And that's what we want them to be. And it's amazing how personal of an attachment you can have to sports in certain incidents, in certain times. So that's all I really have to say.
Oh, again, it's a great story. And we have a comment in the last second. Oh, there we go. Thank you very much, Sean.
Did you like that video? Of course you did. So why not check out some more of our content? You can check the playlist right here or right here.
Your ideas are intriguing to me, and I wish to subscribe to your newsletter.